See, once you realize what you really are, you'll get to a point where you disconnect from everything that you've ever known, and you start realizing that life is not even what you thought it was. It's not based on words nor actions. It's based on emotion. And when you live your life based on emotion, it's almost like everything around you responds to you. Everything comes alive. Like if you happen to be very, very happy, all of a sudden the flowers will start sprouting too, or a butterfly might come in, or you might attract a bird, or the energy might attract a bird, or something that makes the garden look even more beautiful, or something to that effect, right? But then if you're really, really upset, that emotion, if you're really upset, like, people don't even know how to experience emotions either. They have to hide, or they don't really show who they really are because they don't want to come off as, a pussy or whatever. You know how the culture has been, it's been already like proliferated within the culture to be tough, you can't cry, shit like that. You can't do that to the soul, bro. We're living souls. You have to experience pain. You have to experience happiness, but genuinely, not some fucking fabricated superficial shit like everybody else is on. That's why everybody needs cars. They need everything that fills in the emptiness that's really deep inside them.
Researchers have determined that you and I are primarily capable of only two emotions, many derivatives of those emotions, and two primary emotions, fear and love. Fear and love. Well, fear is a long, slow wave of emotion. So this wave of fear is a long, slow wave and touches relatively few sites on this DNA. So an individual living in fear is limited to the number of antennae that they have available to them, whereas an individual living in the pattern of love, this is love in DNA. You can see it's a higher frequency, shorter wavelength. We have many more potential sites for coding along that genetic pattern. This information, this is amazing. This is the first time we've ever had a hard digital link between emotion and genetics.
In the month of November of 2014, I had a one-on-one telepathic interfacing with an interdimensional plasma light ship. In the following footage, we have high-definition visuals of neighboring stars in our galaxy. Now, it is important that I reveal a critical detail. Notice how these stars behave. Well, that is exactly the way this UFO behaved. Here is an illustration that I've drawn depicting this magnificent light ship. The telepathy that I've experienced was based on emotion. I could feel what it felt, and it could feel what I felt. It was the most beautiful thing that I've ever saw in my entire life. Now this thing came so close, it was right above the electric utility poles of the city, adjacent to the roof of the building that I was guarding while at work as a security technician in South Central Los Angeles, California. And I'm telling you right now, I saw all of the details, and that is exactly what these light ships look like whilst in front of you. Those aren't stars, guys. It's time for you to wake up.
like someone who has not been exposed to this kind of thinking or this form of viewing the world, this cosmovision, this perspective or standpoint or vantage point, right, will automatically, especially if they're like indoctrinated, right, by the educational system, will automatically just, you know, they'll engage in a response mechanism that is psychologically and behaviorally originating from an insecurity, because they fear, because they don't recognize that knowledge, and therefore they fear, and therefore they ridicule, and therefore they have to try and control, because it's not what they taught you or what they learned or what everybody around them seems to know, and therefore you are giving me cognitive dissonance and I don't feel comfortable around you, and therefore I would prefer to either ridicule you or remove myself from your space. And again, all of that is low vibrational behavior, mannerisms, you know, it's all embedded in fear. And it's sad because that's the majority of the people, that's how they are. And that's why it's so easy to get people to go out and fight with one another, turn them against each other, while the real culprits of it all, which are not even human beings, laugh behind the scenes. Why do you think there's an all-seeing eye on the dollar bill? It's reptilian symbolism, and let me explain why. Because it represents the eye of Horus, and it's the black sun, right? In other words, planet Saturn. It's a South Pole, planet Saturn. But if you look at the eye, it's represented as the eye of a white man.
On top of the page.
Yeah. And on this planet, with this whole German factor in play, you have this thing where you have the royals and the Imperials, right? The Imperials and the Royals, these fucking psychopathic, bloodthirsty families, just based on history. You could look it up yourself. Research their lineage, what they've done throughout the centuries, and how they've acquired their riches and wealth today and made them who they are now. But the so-called British royal family, they're actually the Germans. My device was hacked the other day. My iPad was hacked, and somebody started typing, and they typed in, what the fuck is K.U.K? I thought they were trying to call me crazy. And it turns out that is the abbreviation for a German, it's a German phrase for, I'm gonna probably hammer this, I don't know how to speak German, but it stands for Kaiserlich und Königlich, right? And which translates into English as the Imperials and the Royals. That's what they call themselves. And that's why on Earth you have the reptilian overlords. There's different factions of them, but the very ones at the top that have connections to the reptilian planet, the main head, is called the Pindar. The Pindar, and the Pindar stands for the penis of the dragon, and that's why at the fucking capital of each of their cities there's a reptilian dick or a phallic known as an obelisk. And the idea is the reptilian dick is fucking the sky, and that's their way of saying we are the fucking ones fucking this frequency that you guys are in, or this dimension. This is our shit. That's their way of saying this is our shit. You know how Americans put flags on the moon and they put their flag when they go to battle? Well, the reptilians do that shit. But what they do is they'll stick a fucking a fucking phallic into the sky, and that's the way of saying this is our shit. This is our symbol. That's their symbol. Which is one of the members of the Rothschild family, okay, according to my research, and what other people who have participated in rituals who have saw him in rituals, and what they addressed him as, how his rank, his importance within that society. He was the Pindar, like he was the penis of the dragon, and supposedly he was a full-on reptilian. fucking 9-foot reptile, or a dragon, or a motherfucking reptilian, or a fucking demon, same shit. And that they would take women to be impregnated by him because he's the penis of the dragon. In other words, he's the devil in the flesh, and he is the direct nexus or intermediary between the reptilians in the physical realm and the reptilians in the spiritual realm on Earth. So he's like the pinnacle, right? That's why he's called a Pindar, because he's on top of the pecking order. He's the one that, he's the main one. He's the boss of the reptilians. He's the one that they talk to when they have a problem on Earth, and they have to give that order to him, and he has to give that to the other reptilians on the reptilian planet, or wherever the fuck they come from. And they have to do something to fix the problem on the Earth for the reptilian situation, or else the reptilians might die. And that's why he's the Pindar. You go to him. That's why there's an all-seeing eye on the back of the dollar bill, and it's the white man's eye, because it represents the Pindar, the German. So it's just the German, it's just the German, that's it. The Nazi, alright, this idea of the Nazi.
The Germanic tribes, the barbarians, okay, who came down, destroyed civilization, not created civilization, destroyed civilization, where we get the word barbarian. And these are also the same people that are rooted in basically with the conquest or the reconquest in Spain. These were the Germanic people of the north, exactly, who went down there, and so you got this Germanic aspect, destroying civilizations, and coming into the Western Hemisphere, exactly, coming in between the Spaniards and the English. Again, this Germanic wave on the world, this Germanic wave that caused the world wars, and this Germanic America that is basically, again, claiming Western civilization, claiming invention of everything from the wheel and agriculture to the computer, and there's a falseness in a lot of this history, and most of this history, it's delusional. But they'll look and say, well, look, we got all this. You guys are just crybabies. But then don't claim the moral superiority. But they do claim the moral superiority.
So the whole point of this whole thing is that previously, the days before the hacking of my iPad, because I caught it on film, I'm going to show you guys right now. Following up to this event, okay, I had asked the creator of the universe in prayer and meditation to please reveal to me not just who the corporations were, but what the factor of evil, or the true origin of the whole evil on the earth came from, or that it concerned my targeting. Right? And many other people started the oppression of the planet and all that. And my iPad got hacked. And when it got hacked, it turned itself on, and it went to the I think it was either the notes or the internet search bar, and it typed K.U.K. At first I said, U.K.? I was like, what the fuck are you guys trying to tell me? And then I thought, oh, they're calling me a kook. And then I turned it off, and then it turned itself back on.
Noise campaign.
And then it opened up my app for drawing. I have a sketching app on my iPad, and it opened up a file in that app of two Mayan priests facing each other that I drew a long time ago, like 7 years ago, that I never finished. And you know what it did? It zoomed in on one of the priest's third eye.
It's 7:45 p.m. The date is.
And it started dabbing it.
28, 2018.
Like someone was dabbing it.
And my iPad,
someone was tapping
guys,
right on the forehead. like drawing energy
It's hacked.
around the third eye.
Look at this. Somebody's writing on my iPad.
And even forward out, it went down and it drew like 3 lines going in different directions, which I don't know what it means. But I took a screenshot of it and I caught it on film.
Third eye?
So I'm gonna share. Yeah. So I'm gonna share this with you guys.
Have hacked my is that a third eye? Draw a third eye. What the hell is this? Dude, I'm tripping the fuck out. Look, someone's touching it. Look at that. What the fuck? We're gonna keep going. Okay. Something coming out of the third eye. Over that old drawing this drawing, by the way, is an old Mayan drawing I drew about 6 years ago. So they're saying that matter's coming out of the third eye. That's what the ET they're trying to tell me here. So that's the eyebrow, that's the crest of the eyebrows, and then energy coming out of the third eye. See that? This is very interesting. Wow, this is interesting. See how long this continues. Been rolling for about 3 minutes now. Go shut the door because I'm being gangstalked by my people over here. So, I was listening to some information on UFOs, gray aliens. I've been studying that recently. And this is very interesting. Like about an hour ago, that's what I was doing. I was being heavily gangstalked. I wasn't paying attention to it though. I wasn't paying attention to them, so I guess they're mad and now they're interfering. Because actually, before any of this happened to my iPad, let me show you what I was doing. I'm gonna go ahead and exit. But before I do that, let me zoom out and see what they're doing. Ooh, did you see that? See what I'm talking about? Let's see. Look at it. It's moving on its own. See how attacked? Third eye of this Mayan priest I drew some years ago. What does that mean? It's so strange. Is it like, is this supposed to be some kind of a message? Or like, is this like the aliens hacking my device, or is this the government? You know? Or is it some fucking prick that's hacking my shit? Fucking gang stalker. Who knows, but it seems to be trying to tell me something I drew this, you know, some years ago, and it's focusing on the third eye. Oh, it's typing. What the fuck? This is what I was working on earlier. Someone's spying on what I was doing earlier. Oh shit. What the hell? Oh my god. Somebody has hacked my fucking device, guys. Officially. I've been doing some heavy research on extraterrestrials and what's really going on at the Vatican and all of this crazy shit. Realizing so many things, that I've been a TI my entire life and that I'm chipped, and all these things that they're gonna want to keep secret. Look what they're typing. UK, United Kingdom. Oh my god. This is so weird. I was putting together a protective necklace earlier, 434, August 28, 2018. So this was earlier today. That's the proof, that's the date right there. And as you can see, I was putting together, I was looking at the crystals and the properties and things like that. So red agate, green adventurine, red coral, howlite, etc. And that was earlier today, this morning. See, it's connected to the 5G. Someone has hacked my device officially. It's a portal. I mean, look at, there's one of the indicators there, and the indicator somewhere above there. There's one there and one below. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Alright, so this is my iPad 2. I've had this for about, shit, who knows, almost close to 10 years now. I'm taking good care of this. I have a lot of evidence in this device, a lot of audio evidence, especially over 30 gigabytes of audio of 6 months of noise harassment, extreme noise harassment that I've caught, being orchestrated by family members and neighbors, and everything from corporations to the police, fire department going by, or cooperating with the harassment, letting off their sirens, things of that nature. Vehicles violently revving their engines on purpose to harass me. It's all tied into the algorithms of my brain, because I'm chipped. They're able to do that, and so I'm literally being tortured in my own home, guys. Okay, and they're able to do this silently behind closed doors without anybody else finding out about it, because they have this classified technology that they can read your thoughts, and then they can chip you and harass you based on internal functions, bodily functions, and not just bodily functions, but also psychological, behavioral patterns. So yeah, there it is. It keeps going. So I'm about to press the control button and go back to what I was literally watching. Let's see if I can get the name. Oh God. Okay, there it is. See, they're changing the stuff. Look. What the fuck? They don't even want me to show you what I was watching. There he is, this guy. I was watching Richard
responsible for bringing the story of Britain's Roswell to public awareness.
Dolan, I believe his name is.
Never be known in the history of ufology incident.
And now I'm getting all of a sudden updates. This is fucking crazy. What the fuck is going on here, man? Wow. So they already sabotaged my phone. My phone's down already. Somebody fucking sabotaged my charging cable, so I'm unable to charge my iPhone, and so that leaves me pretty much disconnected from the world and isolated. Alright, and without any means of support or even able to get my message out. But there it is. Look, this is proof. I'm not making this shit up. My fucking iPad is hacked. Alright, let's see what it looks up though. Majestic 12, you saw that? You saw it said K.U.K and Majestic 12? Wow. Tuning out, guys. This is insane.
Ask and it shall be given.
The message was loud and clear.
As you can see here, guys, the creator of the universe has revealed to me the real culprits that dominate the world. Majestic 12, the Imperial and Royal families, the black nobility of Europe.
White people originating from Northern Europe. These white people are not really human from this earth like black people are, Indian people are, Asian people are. Yes, they are all humans. We white people are actually a minority, and we are, let's face the truth, also called the tall whites. Not all of them are, not all of us are tall, not all of us are completely white, but in general, that's what it is. And as some of you may know, the tall whites are not really earthly human, but we're coming out of space, out of another galaxy. We are not human as the rest of the human race. We came here from another star.
Saturn's name, incidentally, in the old Phoenician ancient Canaanite religion in the Middle East, the old Phoenician Canaanite worship of the planet Saturn was the most important god of all the ancient world, was the planet Saturn, and his symbol, long before the Hebrews were ever in Cana, the symbol in Cana for the planet Saturn was a six-pointed star. Today we call that star the Star of David. There was no Star of David. It's the Star of Saturn.
We are not human as the rest of the human race. We came here from another star.
L is the sun, as is the sun. Ani is the sun. Is the sun. And on. Give Uranus, or Auranos, heaven, or Saturn, which is Seth Uranus, the El Shaddai, Sadi, Set, or Seth of Genesis. Ag, the fire god Ark, compounded with Uranos, gives Ekron, whose god was Baalzebub, Kronos, the beaming sun, a name of Saturn, Ark, and on.
Today, we're going to be talking more in depth than we ever have about the different ET beings I've encountered through my childhood, through the MyLab training, and ending with the secret space programs. My first experiences with non-terrestrials began when I was only 5 years old. A Nordic lady came over and guided me out of the room and took me into more of a control room. It was darker. I saw other Nordics sitting around control panels, amber lights reflecting off their face. And this kind of like a curved television mist appeared in front of me. And then all of a sudden, all of these star charts started popping up. And she would say, "Is this your home?" Then she showed planets as well. And there was this very large planet that looked similar to Saturn that had like a moon around it. And it was obviously inhabited. And she pointed to it and she said, "Is that your home?" And I got a weird reaction.
Death is a disease. It's like any other. And there's a cure. A cure. And I will find it.
See, this is what you need to understand. The basis of everything that exists around us, including ourselves in the physical realm, comes from light and sound. That's it. That's what we are, just light and sound. And it's really our minds that have enslaved us to think that we're physical beings. It's not real. It's not real. And then it's even horrible now when you have a society where people that think like me and speak like me and actually act out based on those, internalized decisions that were incorporated into that person's psyche and therefore their personality and the way they view the world. And because therefore that person is now different from the rest. And now people are being persecuted for their differences.